question would be, what have you sacrificed in order to start the business and focus? I know that in your book you said you had to leave corporate for you to start, but besides leaving corporate, what else do you have to sacrifice in order to get that business started?
Okay. I want to stand. Is that okay? Don't touch my leg. Don't trust you. So, okay, you can see me all from here. Yes. Okay, great. I had to sacrifice a whole lot. I mean, giving up a job where you are the chief information officer at a multinational bank with teams in India, Lithuania, London, you name it. That is quite something to give up. We're not even talking about the salary and the bonuses and and the recognition and the status that comes with roles like that. So I was incredibly well looked after in corporate, if I might put it that way. But I had to leave because I felt that it was no longer the most effective use of my time. And I remember I was sitting in a boardroom, one of the most powerful meetings you can have at the bank in my portfolio. And instead of me being incredibly honored that I'm sitting with these very big people in the bank, I started thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Is this the most effective use of my time? Because we're talking about the same thing we talked about 2 months ago, and somebody is running, trying to cover themselves against, oh, their friends are now not happy because their budget hasn't been approved, and then somebody must turn on that decision that was made. So I just felt like, you know what, clearly it's no longer right to be here. But I guess that was juxtaposed against what was happening in our country. This was at the height of service protests. It was, unemployment rate was starting to really get completely out of hand. It was 2014, and I really that was my why. I left corporate to create jobs, like to be at the forefront of creating jobs, not be told who I can hire, how much I can pay them, and then. So for me, it was, I've got access to these powerful networks in corporate because of my credibility over the years. And I've got access to these people who are in great need, who were promised that education is your key to success. You all went to study because, you've been given hope that there's, success beyond. And these were kids sitting at home. These were multiple scores of people with no hope who did not have access to the networks I had. And that's let's say access to networks is the biggest privilege anyone can have, because you've got access to people who make the decisions. I can pick up a call, I can WhatsApp someone who's a decision maker. Not a lot of people have got that privilege. And that's something we can never take for granted. And it might be me telling you that, but you also have your own privilege. You also have some kind of access to something. So mine was to really use that access and access to decision makers and buying power, and use that to create jobs for people who really need it. Whether it was graduates or people who were in between jobs or at home, highly skilled. And what did I give up more of? When you start to follow your purpose, you don't feel like you're giving up anything, right? Because you're just growing into your skin. You're growing into who you were meant to be. So I don't think I gave up much beyond that. I found something though. I found that the reason for my existence, which was to make a difference in people's lives and help them transform their lives. Because not having dignity is not a good thing. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to have your dignity stripped away from you. So mine was to really give people dignity in some shape or form through creating jobs. Yeah? Did I have to give up my family life? Is probably what you're asking. No. The first thing I did when I stopped working, I decided I do not work on Mondays. Yes. I found something very special. Now, when I left corporate, I realized that all I had done was give so much of myself to the job that there was nothing left for Amanda. And honestly, my family was getting crumbs because I gave more to the job than I gave to them. And I had to start asking myself the question, if I'm lying in hospital and I need a kidney, okay, chances are I'm gonna need a liver. You can edit that out. If I need a kidney, who are those people that will be willing to give me their kidney? So who are my kidney donors? And a guy who was delivering a speech in my corporate job said that, and I was like, that is so true. Who are the people that are going to suffer the most when I'm gone? And from there on, I started working on what kind of life do I want to live. And no, I don't want to live a life where I'm working like a slave, 13 hours a day. No. And the beauty of starting my business was that I wanted to own my time. Yeah? When you own your time, you can do with it what you want to do with it. So I didn't give up much beyond the great cushy job. I actually gained a real lifestyle. I savor my life. When you're like, it's like I eat my life with a fork and a knife. Yeah. Of course, I had to put in lots of hours to make it happen, but that's just normal course of business. It's nothing extraordinary. But be willing to give up your time. But you can't just give up your time permanently. You must give up your time temporarily to get something going, set it up such that it can run independently of you. Because all people do when they live corporate without a clear vision of what kind of business they want to start is just to create jobs for themselves. You just create a job. You create employment for yourself. The problem, though, with that is, remember, in your job, there was somebody doing the accounting. There was somebody doing the marketing. There was somebody doing the operations. Somebody was cleaning the kitchen. Somebody was doing all of these things. And all you had to do was maybe manage politics and do your job. Now you've gone and created a job for yourself, but the job for yourself comes with all of these other things. And then you get despondent and discouraged that, oh my gosh, I can't get to this. There's also the matter of getting the business, right? So I think it's very important to understand, why are you starting a business? How is this business going to be run? What's your vision of the business? And I'm pretty sure I'm answering some other people's questions, but please let me go. But that's very important. The kind of business you're starting needs to be supporting your wider vision of your life, whatever that vision is. And if you just want to create a job for yourself, that's okay also, but be clear that that's all you're doing, which means you're not going to grow the business to any size, reasonable size that you wish or hope for. So be clear about why you're starting a business. How big do you want the business to be? And don't be afraid to dream big, because whatever you dream, whatever you believe is what you end up, achieving.